Hey guys, I'm luhdemtaters. I have 10 YouTube subscribers, and only 7 of them are my wife, I presume. The other are alliance mates, I believe. Um, I've uploaded 2 war videos in this last week, not including this one. This is my third, and both of the previous war videos were like incredibly lazy, terrible production quality, no commentary, no audio. I didn't even bother like editing out the iPhone swipe up thing to get to the screen recording. So pretty embarrassing. I figured I would try to atone for the very poor effort by introducing myself and giving this video a little bit more flair, a little bit more personality. I put a little bit of time into it, so hopefully you enjoy it. There are a couple things that I want to mention. So if you did watch either of the previous 2 war videos that I uploaded, you will see that number 1, I made several mistakes, and number 2, fortunately, I was able to clear my path, which is path 3, both wars, including the mini, without dying, which is awesome. This war, I think that I had a cleaner war, but I did die once, and it was really the only fight that I made any mistakes in, but I made several, including I made I think a poor choice choosing my attacker for this fight. Lesson learned, but I'll kind of show you guys once we get to that fight. One last thing to mention before I start playing the war video. I screwed up like right when attack started, before I ever had a fight. So like I told you, I normally take path 3. For whatever reason, I accidentally took the wrong portal, and I ended up taking the portal to path 1. It didn't like screw over Alliance really big or anything like that. Fortunately, the guy who normally takes path 1, he hadn't joined yet, so we just switched paths. But anyway, he had a really tough fight on node 27, a 345 Nightcrawler. Actually, the same Nightcrawler that I died to on that node a few wars ago, and it was a really tough fight for him. So for anybody really. So boost. I'm sorry, brother. I will try to make it up to you, but. So anyway, I do want to go ahead and play this video here and kind of give you a little bit of color commentary here as we go along. The first fight, I presume is not anything scary. As you can see, I got the Scouter Lens Mastery. That was a suggestion of Brian, and it didn't really come into play here much this war. But it's nice to like eliminate defenders that you're kind of afraid of. Like if a Dorm was on this node, then that would be a little bit scary. Wasn't anticipating a Dorm because they had a Dorm as the big boss. But this fight is very, very easy fight. Unstoppable Colossus, just about as easy as it gets. Pretty quick clear there. Blade looking nice. A couple dongs on the screen for us. Okay, and then I'm just going straight up here. And actually, node 25, the poison node, I don't take that node in this war. Red takes it. He's got a full immune. I didn't bring any full immunes. I normally bring Dormammu. I'm sorry, I don't normally bring Dormammu. I normally bring Blade, Magic, and Ghost Rider for the Ghost Rider synergy. On occasion, I'll bring Dormammu for the Mystic Danger Sense synergy with Blade. But I didn't in this war, and so Red took care of that fight pretty easily. So this one, I do see with Scouter Lens that it is a 345 champ. So I don't think that it's a Medusa. Otherwise, that guy would probably have it ranked up. But just in case it was a Medusa, I boosted kind of like crazy. And of course it's an Angela. pretty easy fight. So boost wasted, but I think it's always best if you're not 100% sure, just to go ahead and boost. Boosts are way less valuable than saving a death for your alliance, which is the number one. So this fight goes really well. It's a pretty quick fight, and because of my slight fear of Medusa, I did obviously put on that combat regen boost, which helps me finish the fight at a perfect 100%. A couple dongs for us. Okay, so second section, or last section, I do normally take node 41, but we just did a full path swap in this war because I screwed up when I entered attack. So node 46 is, I believe, just power gain, and it's a 550 mystic. It wouldn't really matter who is on this. Not very scary. I think that really the only mystic the only 4-star mystic that I might not want to see here is Scarlet Witch, just because she can get that poison on you, and that can be pretty annoying. But it's a hood, so again, another easy fight. You'll see here he's a little stingy with his L1, and I almost push into an L2, which wouldn't be a huge deal. It's not unblockable or anything, but it would just be a little bit more annoying, and of course I would take a little bit of block damage. His L2 does a pretty fair amount of damage, so like right there I got really lucky, and then I just kind of go for it here with my L2, knowing that if I connect, it'll be the end of him, but pushed him well past that L3, so if I screwed that up, that could have caused some damage. Okay, so this next fight, you got the persistence charges. I don't know why, but I boosted, like I just kind of assumed it was MODOK for some reason. And I boosted before checking his profile, which not a huge deal. I still have the Bane fight coming up, so I was going to boost regardless. But I boost here. Thinking that it's a MODOK, not afraid of MODOK. I've got the Blade and Ghost Rider synergy, so it would be a pretty easy fight, but it turns out to be the other persistent charge. Science Champ, the one that on occasion gives another YouTuber, a very famous, very cool YouTuber, some issue. But it is a Sentry, and Sentry's about, I don't want to be insulting to that YouTuber, so I'll just say that Sentry is not a big deal in this fight, and generally speaking, Sentry is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's a pretty quick fight. So next fight is Bane. It is a 6-star skill champion, so I think that there are literally only 2 6-star skill champs, right? There's Kingpin and Karnak. I might be wrong there, but it's not a Karnak. Nobody's afraid of Karnak. Kingpin, that's who it ends up being, and I kind of knew that going in. I do have the Danger Sense ability here against him, but Kingpin is kind of a pain in the ass, so or he can be, and he does shrug off a lot of those debuffs, so never really know with him. I boosted again pretty hardcore just to make sure. I also put on the combat regen boost because, you know, if he doesn't cooperate with throwing his specials and with the baiting strategy, then that Bane can start to do some damage. So as you'll see, I'm pretty lucky here with the RNG. I mean, he is baiting perfectly into my attack strategy. Super convenient here, and I mean, this node is never this easy, so I think I just got lucky with the RNG, and he was throwing his specials, and it was timed perfectly with the Bane. So yeah, okay. So obviously I've got one fight left. I did not end up taking the big boss. Got one fight left. It's a Stark Spider-Man 455. I had there was some debate in our war room, in our Alliance war room chat, about who I should take in this fight. It was kind of mixed. I initially thought Blade. Obviously, he's got the power gain, double the power gain, and then the unblockable 2. Not worried about the unblockable 2, but it still does a pretty huge amount of damage, block damage, even if you evade the first part. So I was thinking Blade, and then I was like, you know what? It would just be so easy. Like, he would be so easy if I could just take magic in, get an L2, and then I should be able to just kind of cruise through the rest of that fight. Just keep the L2s on recycle mode. Just keep throwing the L2s and keep them power locked. Maybe get him into the corner, and then fight's pretty much over. As you will see, he doesn't cooperate. So, like, I don't know if I just used up all my good RNG with the Bane fight, but this dude was being so stingy with his special attacks. I did go in with magic. Ultimately, I think the wrong decision. So going forward, I'll be taking Blade into this fight if I have this note again. But okay, so it starts out pretty standard. Obviously, my strategy is just to bait his L1. I really want nothing to do with his L2. I try my very hardest to bait the L1, and you'll see, but that kind of bites me in the ass a little bit. I'm just wasting so much time just trying to bait the L1, and I've got to get to my L2, obviously, so that I can power lock him. And man, he is just not throwing his special. So annoying. There he throws a special. I really can't tell you why, but I just missed it, and I don't go in to punish. So that's one mistake. I made like 100 mistakes in this fight. It was a really poor showing on my part, but again, I like one combo and he's right up against an L2. So like, I'm trying desperately just to bait this. It's already been a minute gone by. He's only down 20%. So I parry him there, but I don't really have an opportunity to hit a heavy. I just don't want to push him over his second bar of power here. So I'm just trying to get a parry off so I can get a freaking heavy off and I can hit him with the L2. I ultimately, like, I lost patience in the corner, and then of course he pushes me over my L3. I mean, this was just such an annoying fight. So this is gonna do like no damage because I don't think he had any buffs on. And then it's back to the baiting game. I mean, look at this. Like, it's been 2 full minutes and he's down 40%. just a nightmare. So he does throw a special here. I think coming up here, I finally get a heavy on him, and I think I get an L2 off on him, and I think that this is like gonna be the end of the fight. Of course, there I get jacked in the face trying to backdraft a little bit, so like lose half my health. There, now I'm under 50%. Jesus, this guy, what a little asshole. Okay, so like he evades the heavy, which is super annoying, and then he runs right back into it. So like at that point, I hit him with the special. 20 seconds. I don't think that I can beat him, but I thought that I could get like really close. And there, like literally thumb slippage. This little shithead. Little dong action. Old Spider-Man. Good old Spider-Man. Okay, so go back into this fight with Blade. I even screw up in this fight, as you'll see. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just like, I think I'm like kind of traumatized by how that previous fight went. So I like slap on a skill special, or a skill special boost. Totally, probably unnecessary, but again, boosts don't hurt. He's still at 40% health. This goes relatively well. I mean, I wasn't expecting to take on the Dorm boss, so this is, for all intents and purposes, my last fight. Screw up there. I'm just too close to his heavy, which is annoying. But as you can see, like with power, Blade just heals that block damage back up, so it's just not an issue. And his damage output is so much better. I probably would not have had any problems with that fight had I gone in with Blade. So that's it. That is the war video. I hope that if you watched this video, you enjoyed it a little bit. This is my first time doing like a live commentary or a commentary on my videos, so I don't know if I'm all over the place or if I'm like saying or shit like that, and I apologize. But I'm gonna be trying to do this a little bit more often. I originally started uploading war videos because, for a few reasons, I wanted to have like a record for my own reference and for my alliance's reference for future wars. If you guys saw Brian's video on the last J11 war, you'll know that that was the 4th time that we faced them. I think in the last 3 weeks. So that's ridiculous. But there have been a few alliances. Hell's Rejects, we faced them a few times. So there have been a few alliances that we faced multiple times, and having kind of a video for reference, I think, it can't hurt anything. And then, of course, the other thing is piloting is a hot button topic right now, and I think that having war videos, you know, I guess kind of at least works as proof that that we're not piloting, and I don't think that we've been like legitimately accused of piloting, but in case we have, you know, they can look at a collection of the people from our alliance that have put out war videos, and they can see that like we're not piloting, and I don't know. So that's kind of it. Sorry for all the rambling. I think I'm going to be posting a video on Bishop to follow up on Brian's Bishop video, where he got that crazy L2 with the 550 that he got from the Content Creators Program. I've got a 455 Bishop, and Brian kind of challenged to see like how high we could get that L2 damage output with the 455 Bishop. So I've got one. I've been playing around with them. I hit a huge one today, a huge L2. So I think I'm going to post a brief video about that. Should be a lot more straight to the point than this one. But hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit like. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. I'm not really worried about those numbers. But I do intend to post more videos regularly. So if you're interested to see any of these videos, then hit subscribe, and you should get notified when I post the Bishop video and any future videos. So, all right, thank you.